Hello kids, welcome to today's chemistry class and today we'll do water. Concept to know in this chapter are introduction, importance of water in everyday life, water resources, potable water, water as a universal solvent, the term solute, solvent and solution, solubility, importance of water for living organism, role of water in the body of human being and animal, role of water in the growth of plants, conservation of water, rainwater harvesting. First is introduction. As we know, water is one of the most important necessities in our daily life. It is essential for the survival of growth of human being, plant and animals. About 2/3 of the earth's surface is covered with water. As we know, 2/3 of the earth's surface that is covered with water. Therefore, earth is also known as blue planet. That is why the earth is known as blue planet. Most of water is in ocean and seas. Water is also present in river, lake and stream. It also exists in snow and ice on mountain. Even 70% of our body weight is made up of water. So, 70% of our body weight that is of water. Next, importance of water in everyday life. As we know, all living things, whether it's animal or plant, they need water for their survival. We need water for various purposes. Some of them are given below, like basic use. Life process, water is used by living organisms for carrying out their various metabolic activities like photosynthesis in plant and the excretion by humans and animals. So, all these need water. Next, household activities. Water is extensively used in washing clothes, cooking, bathing, cleaning, drinking. In all these, we use water like irrigation, skiing, transportation, generating electricity. In all these, we use water. Next is fire extinguisher. Water is in fire extinguisher directly or as the constituent of fire extinguisher. Next, transportation. Water serves as good medium of transportation of people and goods by boats and ship. Next is industry uses. Water is extensively used in industries also for generating electricity. Water is used for hydroelectric power plant to generate electricity. Next, chemical industries. Water generates steam in boiler used for various industrial purposes. Clear? Next is habitat. Habitat is natural home for animal and plants. Water serves as a habitat for aquatic plants and animals. Next is agricultural use. Water is largely used in irrigation to give water to plants, production of crops and as a medium for spraying pesticide and insecticide and fertilizers. So, this is how we use water in agriculture. Next, water resources. There are three sources of natural water, that is rainwater, surface water and underground water or subsoil water. First is rainwater. Rainwater is the purest form of natural water because it is free from impurities. It contains dissolved gases like oxygen, nitrogen and carbon dioxide forming weak acid. In industrial area, the oxides of sulfur and nitrogen may dissolve in water forming sulfuric acid and nitric acid. It causes acid rain. When all these sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, all these mix with the rainwater and come in the form of rainwater at earth, this rain is known as acid rain because when they mix with the water, they make sulfuric acid, nitric acid, carbonic acid and they mix with the water and come in the form of rain. This rain is known as acid rain. That is very harmful for plants, animal and aquatic plants and animal also. Next is surface water. River and lake water. River and lake water are the impure form of natural water which may contain soluble salt and impurities. The water in river and lake come from the rain and melting of snow on the mountains. River water may contain germs that causes disease like jaundice, dysentery and cholera, etc. Clear? So we should not consume the river and lake water directly. First we should filter it or boil it, then we can consume it. Next, seawater. Seawater is the most impure form of water, containing more than 3.6% by the mass of soluble salt, chiefly medium like sodium chloride, common salt. Due to the presence of large amount of common salt, sea water is salty in taste and is called saline water. Because in sea water so many minerals are present and it tastes salty and it's called saline water. The presence of common salt in sea water make it unfit for the drinking, agriculture and industrial purpose. So in sea water the amount of the salt is very much, so that is it make it unfit for drinking, because we cannot drink it. There is so much salt in that, so we cannot use directly for drinking or agriculture purpose or industrial purpose. Next, underground water or subsoil water. Some of the rainwater seep through the soil and goes down under the surface of the earth. Ultimately, the water is stopped by the non-porous rocks and collect there. It is called underground water. The level of groundwater is called water table. So, how much water is there inside the ground? That is known as water table. Groundwater is pumped out by digging of wells, hand pumps and tube wells. By this way, we can use the underground water. Here, the rain comes down and the water seeps through the soil and stone and goes inside the earth. That is known as underground water. These are non-porous rock. It stopped it here only. So, this water is collected inside the ground. This is known as underground water. Clear? Here, we can use this underground water by digging deep wells, by using tube wells and hand pump. Clear? Natural water deposit above the rock layers of the earth, which comes out in the pressure in the form of earth surface, is called spring water. Like here, the groundwater coming out in the form of spring. This is known as spring water. It contains soluble salt and minerals. It is also known as spring water. You can see in hilly areas, mountain areas, that water automatically come from the inside of earth, on the surface of earth. That is known as spring water. It can be used for drinking purpose. We can use this water for drinking purpose. Next is potable water. What is potable water? Potable water is the water used for drinking purpose. It should be free from harmful bacteria, germs, suspended impurities and harmful salt such as nitrate and nitrites. Potable water should contain small amount of salt, of magnesium, calcium, sodium, which are essential for the growth and development of our body. So we need all these minerals. We can get it through the water. Potable water should contain small amount of minerals and dissolved gases which give a good taste to it. Potable water may be obtained by treating it in purification plant or by using water purifier. Do you know? Some springs have water which is called mineral water because it contains soluble minerals useful for our body. The water have unique taste and smell because of the mineral mixed in it. It is also used for medical purpose. Sometimes you go some places, you'll see the water contains sulfur. It is useful and useful for medical purpose also, but it have a smell, a certain kind of smell in it because it contains some minerals. Next, Earth's surface is covered with 70.9% of water, but only 2.75% of water is potable, means only 2.7% water we can use for drinking purpose. Of this, 2.75 of the potable water, 0.68 is groundwater. Out of this 2.75% water, 0.68% is groundwater, 0.011% is surface water, and remaining 2.05% water is present in iceberg and polar region. So, do you understand how much potable water is available for us? It is very less. So, we should consume water wisely. We should not waste it और इसको हमें अच्छी तरीके से कंजर्व करना चाहिए. We should use it wisely. We should not waste water. Next, purification of water. Sometimes water contains some impurities, bacteria. So, we have to purify this water before using it for drinking purpose. Water is purified by killing the germs and removing impurities from it. It is also known as sterilization. Large-scale purification of water is done in the water treatment plant, which has different tanks, and the impure water is first pumped into the sedimentation tank. First is sedimentation tank. So, in sedimentation tank, water is allowed to stand for a day so that the larger impurities can settle down while the light insoluble impurities remain suspended in the water. Next, loading tank. In loading tank, water from the sedimentation tank is passed into loading tank where the alum and the lime is added to settle down the suspended impurities, because as we know, alum and lime increase the rate of sedimentation, so the suspended impurities get settled down. Next, filtration tank. In filtration tank, the water is passed through the layer of sand, gravel and charcoal, which filter the remaining suspended impurities. Next, chlorination tank. Liquid chlorine or the bleaching powder is added to water in the tank to kill the germs in the filtered water. Sometimes you feel the smell of chlorine in water because that is some kind of smell in water. Whenever you drink it, you can feel it. This process is known as sterilization. Sterilization can also be done through the boiling and exposure to the air and sunlight, but we add chlorine to it as a bleaching agent to kill the germs in it. Next is storage tank. After chlorination, drinking water is passed into storage tank. From there, it reaches our home through the pipes. Clear? So, here, this is a source of water, river water, impurities. First, it goes into sedimentation tank. These are the steps involved in purification of river water or lake water for drinking purpose. The water comes in a tap. So, here the river water, the first goes into sedimentation tank. Here the impurities get settled down and then it passes into loading tank where we add alum and lime into it to increase the rate of sedimentation of the impurities suspended in water. Then it goes into filtration tank. There it gets filtered and goes into chlorination tank where we add chlorine into it to kill germs present in the water. Then it goes into this kind of purified tank and collected there, and from there it is supplied to the home. Clear? Through the pipes. Next is purification of water at home. Earlier we have studied how the purification of lake and river water is done. Now we will see how the purification at home is done. By boiling. Boiling water for 10 to 15 minutes kill the germ present in it. So, by boiling we can purify the water. Next is filtration. Use the water filter to purify are used to purify water. These purifiers are based on the reverse osmosis or RO technique. So, RO that we used at our home are based on reverse osmosis technique. Next is distillation. The purest form of the water is obtained by the process of distillation or by using the distillation still. Distilled water is free from the salt and minerals. That's why it is the purest form of water. On distillation, the impure water change into steam which we condense back and give pure water. So in distillation what we do? First we boil the water, it changes into steam, and then we condense it back and it changes into pure water. Distilled water is not good for drinking because it does not contain the essential mineral required for the body and it also tasteless. But the distilled water is only used in science laboratory to make solution for making medicine, and in car batteries and inverter batteries we use distilled water because it does not contain any salt or any impurities. So it will not react easily. So that's why it is used in laboratories and batteries. Here the process of distillation is given here. The impure water is get heated in this beaker, and this is the thermometer to measure the temperature. When it get boiled, it passes through this tube. Here the cool water is flowing in this tube which condense the water vapor, and then the steam change into the vapor change into the water and collected here. This is the pure water or distilled water. Clear? Next is states of water. Water exists in three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. Solid state like ice, liquid state like water and gaseous state like water vapor or steam. Next is interconversion of state of matter. Under normal condition, water exists in liquid state. When water is heated to 100 degrees centigrade, it starts boiling and changes into gaseous state. That is called water vapor or steam. When the water vapor or steam is cooled, it changes into water, which on cooling at 0 degree centigrade change into the solid. That is called ice. Here this is ice. On heating it change into water, and when we boil it, it change into water vapor. Then again if we cool down the water vapor, it condense and turn into water, and on cooling or freezing it at 0 degree centigrade, it change into ice, that is a solid. Clear? Next is water cycle. The water cycle is a natural process by which circulation of water takes place from the earth's surface to the atmosphere and come back to the earth's surface in the form of rainwater. This is how the water cycle comes. From the atmosphere it comes down on the earth, and from earth it gets evaporated and goes back to atmosphere. So this cycle continue like this. Next is importance of water cycle. The water cycle balances the water in nature and help to regulate the weather condition on earth. So water cycle is very important. It is important for the balancing the water in nature, and it also help to regulate the weather condition on earth. It maintains the water on the land by restoring the water loss on the earth's surface. So this is the water cycle. The sea water get evaporated by the sun's heat and turn into cloud, and then in the form of rainwater it falls on earth's surface. It goes through stream, from stream it flows into river, and the river flows into sea. Again it get evaporated and form clouds and come in the form of rain. This is how the cycle continue. This is how the water comes on the earth's surface and then goes back to atmosphere. Clear? So this is the water cycle. Next is water as a universal solvent. Why we call water as a universal solvent? Because water has the property to dissolve many substances. It can dissolve solid like salt, sugar, liquid like alcohol and acid, and gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide. Water has a capacity of dissolving large number of substances. That is why it is called universal solvent. So water is a universal solvent. Next, the term solute, solvent and solution. First is solute. Solute is a substance which is dissolved in the liquid is called a solute. So जिस चीज को हम dissolve कर रहे हैं liquid में, that is called solute. For example, salt is solute which dissolve in the liquid. Clear? So here Salt is what? That is solute. Solvent. Solvent is a liquid in which the substance that is called solute is get dissolved. That is called solvent. For example, the liquid water is the solvent in which we dissolve the salt. Next is solution. Solution is the homogeneous mixture of the solute in the solvent is called the solution. When we add solute to the solvent and mix it, it becomes the solution. Solute plus solvent gives solution. Note, generally the component present in large quantity in the solution is the solvent. जो भी component large quantity में होगा, that is solvent. A solution obtained by dissolving solute in the water is called the aqueous solution. Obtained by dissolving solute in water. If we dissolve solute in water, that is called aqueous solution. Like here, the solvent is water, we add solute, that is sodium chloride or common salt, and this becomes the solution. Aqueous solution of NaCl means common salt. Clear? We will stir them together and make a solution like this. Next, we will take an activity. To prepare copper sulfate solution, what we have to do? Take a beaker and pour about 100 milliliter of water into it. Add 1 teaspoon of copper sulfate crystal to water and stir it with glass rod until the copper sulfate dissolve in it. We get a blue colored aqueous copper sulfate solution after some time. We can conclude that the water is a solvent and the copper sulfate crystal that are solute, and the homogeneous mixture after mixing water of copper sulfate crystal is the solution. Here first we have taken water, here is a solvent, we added copper sulfate crystal into it, that is a solute. When we mix together it, stir it and mix it together, the copper sulfate solution that's formed as a solution.
Activity 1. To prepare copper sulfate solution. Take a beaker and pour about 100 ml of water into it. Add 1 teaspoonful of copper sulfate crystals to water and stir it with a glass rod until the copper sulfate dissolves in it. We get a blue-colored aqueous copper sulfate solution after some time. Figure 4.15. We can conclude that water is a solvent. Copper sulfate crystals are solute, and the homogeneous mixture after mixing water and copper sulfate crystals in solution.
Next is unsaturated and saturated solution. First is unsaturated solution. The solution in which the solute continue to dissolve, जिसमें हम और solute को dissolve कर सकते हैं, that is known as unsaturated solution. So a solution in which solute continue to dissolve in the solvent at a particular temperature is called unsaturated solution. Saturated solution, the solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at the given temperature is called saturated solution. Here this is unsaturated solution and this is saturated solution. It is one which can dissolve more of the solute at the given temperature. Like here, we added the solute, now we can add more solute to it and can dissolve in it. So this is unsaturated solution. Here we have added the solute into it, mix it. Now no more solute can be dissolved in it like this. So this is saturated solution. It is on the given temperature. Next is aqueous solution. Aqueous means with water. The solution in which the solute is dissolved in water or the solution in which water is used as solvent, that is called aqueous solution. Next is solubility. Solubility is the maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in 100 gram of solvent to form the saturated solution at the given temperature, that is called solubility. Means how much solute we can dissolve in 100 gram at given temperature, that is known as solubility. Different substances have different solubility in water under the same condition. Solubility of the most of the solid increase with temperature. As we increase the temperature, solubility will increase. The solubility of the most of the gases like oxygen, nitrogen, etc. decrease with the increase in temperature of water. So here the questions are given, you have to practice them. Next, importance of water for living organism. All living things on the earth depend on water. As we know, we all depend on water for our daily need for drinking, bathing, washing and many more purposes. Animals as well as plants need water to survive. We all need water to survive. Not only animal but plant also need water for their survival and growth. Most of the life process in animal and plant occur in the medium of water. About 70% of our body weight is due to water. Water is provided the habitat for large variety of aquatic animals and animals in the form of lakes, rivers and oceans. Next, role of water in the body of human being and animal. As we know, water is a good solvent. The nutrients and minerals present in our body get dissolved in it so that our body can absorb them. Water dissolves many water materials of the body which are expelled out through the urine. So water dissolves all the waste material into it that is excreted from our body through the urine. Water regulates our body temperature by the process of sweating. Next is role of water in the growth of plant. Water helps in germination of seed and growth of plant. Water helps in the preparation of food by the plants by the process of photosynthesis. The process. Next is role of water in the growth of plant. Water is not only essential for animal but it is essential for plant as well. Water helps in germination of seed and growth of plant. Water helps in the preparation of food by the plants by the process of photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis in plant take place in presence of water, carbon dioxide, chlorophyll and sunlight. So all these things are needed for the process of photosynthesis for making food by plants. Water dissolves in minerals and nutrients in the soil which is absorbed by the root of plant easily. So the minerals are dissolved in the water in soil and they are absorbed by the plant through the root. Water also acts as a medium for the transportation of mineral and other nutrients from one part of the plant to another part. Next is water pollution. What is water pollution? When unwanted substance and impurities get mixed with the water, it make it unfit for use. That is water pollution. The quantity of water in water bodies like lakes, rivers, ocean, aquifer and groundwater has deteriorated due to the contamination by the harmful substance so that it has become unfit for animal and plant. The contamination of water occurs due to the harmful substance called as pollutants. So when these pollutants get mixed with the water, it is unfit for use by plants and animals. They cause harmful effect for living organism. This is known as water pollution. Pesticide, fertilization, synthetic detergents, chemicals, oil and industrial waste are the common water pollution. All these things make the water pollute. So all these things, if they get mixed with the water, it may pollute the water. Next is cause of water pollution. The major causes of water pollution are chemical pollution and thermal pollution. Chemical pollution. It is caused by chemicals. The source of chemical pollution are industrial sewage. Industrial sewage is used water from the manufacturing or chemical process. These are the discharged directly or indirectly into the river. When these chemical waste get discharged directly or indirectly into river and water, it make it poisonous and cause adverse effect on the growth and survival of many aquatic plant and animal, and this is how it make the water pollute, and this water can kill this also. These plants and animal who live in that water, they can kill it also. Industrial waste is the waste product by industries activity which include any material that are rendered useless during the manufacturing process, such as that the factories, industries, mills, etc. Some example of industrial waste are metal, paints, ash, radioactive waste, etc. They also contaminate water when they are discharged into it. Next is domestic sewage. Not only the chemical that is discharged into water make the water pollute, but the domestic sewage also make the water pollute. Domestic sewage carries used water from the house and apartments. They contain pollutants and contaminate water. Next is human activities. Some human activities such as bathing, washing clothes in the river, lakes, etc. pollute the water bodies. Human and animal excreta. When carried by the rain, water also contaminated water. It increases harmful bacteria and microorganisms in the water and cause waterborne disease such as jaundice, typhoid, diarrhea, cholera, gastroenteritis, etc. in humans. So by drinking or consuming this kind of water, these waterborne diseases like jaundice, typhoid, diarrhea, cholera and gastroenteritis, these can happen. Next is agricultural waste. Excessive use of pesticides and fertilization in agricultural flow or to water bodies, which result in the accumulation of these harmful chemicals in aquatic animals like fishes. It may also enter underground water through the soil. Nowadays, the large amount of pesticide and fertilizers are used in agriculture industries. Then when this water grows underground or flow into water bodies, these chemicals get discharged into that water body and it is harmful to aquatic animals like fishes and the aquatic plant that grow into that water. Next, the bird and human being are poisoned by consuming these animal and fishes. When the bird and human being consume these aquatic animals, it gets poisoned and it is harmful from them also. Next, oil spill. Sometimes the accidental leakage of the ship carrying the oil tanker pollute the sea water by oil spill. Oil spill affect the marine plant and animal badly because the oil make a layer on the water, so the plants and animal who are living in that water will not get the oxygen, so it will die eventually. Next, oxygen demanding sewage. Organic sewage from the domestic activities, liquid waste from the hospital, animal sewage are discharged into river through the sewage system, which causes water pollution. The organic sewage composed into simpler form by the action of bacteria using dissolved oxygen in water. That causes shortage of oxygen for other aquatic animals and kill them. Clear? Next is thermal pollution. Thermal pollution of water is caused by changing the temperature of water. The common cause of thermal pollution is the use of water as the coolant by power plant and industries. So in some industries there is so much heat is produced, so water is used as a coolant. Change in temperature of water decrease its oxygen content and affect adversely the aquatic life. Next is method of prevention and control of water pollution. Water pollution can be prevented or reduced by the following methods. Washing clothes, bathing the cattle and human being in water bodies like pond, river, lake should not be done. Overuse of pesticides and fertilizers in the soil should be discouraged. The city's domestic sewage should be treated at the sewage treatment plant to remove the toxic substance before releasing into the water bodies. So before releasing into water bodies, we should treat it and remove the poisonous and harmful substance from it. Industrial sewage should be treated chemically to remove toxic substance before being released into water bodies. Dead bodies should be cremated or buried and not disposed of into the river or lake. Use environmental friendly household products such as washing powder, household cleaning agents and toiletries. Planting of trees near water resources include river banks minimize the water pollution. Pond, lake and well meant for human use should be routinely cleaned and treated. Sanitation system must be improved. Proper toilets and sewage systems should be used. Common public should be aware of the effect of the water pollution. Student can impart health education to enable people to prevent water pollution. The water should be cooled before being discharged as the waste to minimize thermal pollution. So all these methods can be used to prevent or to reduce the water pollution. Next is conservation of water. How we can conserve water or save water, that is water conservation. Water conservation refers to the preservation and control and the development of the water resources, both surface and groundwater, and prevention of pollution. The following method can be used to save water. Turn off the tap while brushing teeth, washing hands, cleaning utensils or shaving. Whenever you brush your teeth, you should not turn on the tap all the time. Only when you are using it, you should turn it. So it will prevent the loss of water and it will prevent the water wastage. Leaking pipelines and leaking water taps should be repaired properly. Plantation in the cities must be encouraged. Drip and sprinkle method of irrigation help to prevent the waste of water. Recycled water must be used in industries and agriculture. Rainwater should be collected and stored wisely. We can collect and store the rainwater and use it whenever there is no rain. So this will also conserve water. Rainwater harvesting should be encouraged to maintain the water table. Next is rainwater harvesting. The way of increasing the availability of water by collecting rainwater and storing it for the later use is called rainwater harvesting. So whenever there is a rain, we can collect the rainwater and store it for further use. That is called rainwater harvesting. The basic idea behind the rainwater harvesting is catch water where it falls. Means जहाँ पे पानी गिर रहा है, we can collect it and store it. The rainwater harvesting is fruitful in cities where the places are mostly covered with the concrete roads and building, as the water does not seep into the ground. So there is the level of the ground water is very low. So there the rainwater harvesting technique can be used. There are two techniques of rainwater harvesting. First is rooftop rainwater harvesting. In this system, the rainwater is collected from the rooftop to store tank through the pipes. This water may contain soil and needs filtration. Instead of collecting rainwater tank, the pipe can go directly into the pit in the ground and refill the groundwater. So in this technique, what we do, we'll collect the roof water through the pipe. It goes into the tank, but it contains some impurities and soil. So we have to filter it before use. So rather than directly collecting into tank, what we can do, we can collect it through the pipe that go directly into a pit. So the rainwater will go directly into the ground and the groundwater level will increase. Then we can consume this water through tube well and wells and hand pump. Next is use of road drains. Road drains can collect rainwater and allow it to go directly into the ground. That will improve the water level, groundwater level of water table. So here some questions are given. You have to practice them. Next is important points to remember. The Earth's surface is covered with about 2/3 of water. so that Earth is also known as blue planet. The three main sources of natural water are rainwater, surface water and underground water. Underground water or subsoil water is collected over the hand non-porous rock below the surface of the earth. The level of groundwater is called the water table. About 70% of our body weight is due to water. Water is a universal solvent because it can dissolve a large number of solid, liquid and gases into it. The water which is safe and fit for drinking is called potable water. Harmful bacteria and germs can be killed by the process of sterilization. Large-scale purification of water is done in the water treatment plant, which involves sedimentation, loading, filtration and chlorination process. Distillation process give the purest form of water, distilled water which is free from minerals. Water cycle balance the water level on nature and control the climatic condition. Solute, solid and the solvent liquid on mixing gives solution. Solute plus solvent gives us solution. Solution can be either saturated or unsaturated. The contamination of water with the pollutants causing harmful effect on living organism is called water pollution. The major cause of water pollution are chemical and thermal. The important sources of chemical pollution are industrial sewage, domestic sewage, agriculture waste and human activities, oil spill and oxygen demanding sewage. Water conservation refers to the preservation and control and development of water resources and prevention of pollution. Rainwater harvesting is the way to increase the availability of water by collecting the rainwater and storing it for later use. Next is a mind map. Here the water that we know is very essential and very important for all of us. So its importance can be used for drinking, bathing, cooking, washing, agriculture, for making solution and for producing electricity. Sources are stream, river, lakes, pond, well and sea. How can we purify? By filtration, boiling, sedimentation and chlorination and loading. Here some waterborne disease, diarrhea, cholera, gastroenteritis, typhoid and jaundice. So here we end the chapter. I hope you understand it well. Now you have to revise this chapter.